Hello and welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel, your source for in-depth interviews from the wide world of the performing arts in St. Louis and beyond. This time, my guests are Joe Hanrahan, founder and artistic director of the Midnight Company, and singer and actress Janelle Gilreath Owens. Janelle stars in You Made Me Love You, a cabaret theater piece by Joe that runs through August 9th, 2023, at the Blue Strawberry nightclub and showroom, which you can see behind me right now. We'll also briefly touch on a couple of other Midnight Company shows. Cindy Lou Johnson's play The Years runs July 13th through 29th at the Chapel here in St. Louis. And Just One Look, starring Kelly Howe as Linda Ronstadt with a script by Joe. As I'm recording this, shows are scheduled through the end of August. For more information about Midnight Company shows, check out their website at the link in the video description field below. Now let's hear from Joe and Janelle. Okay, so here I am virtually at the Blue Strawberry. And the reason for that is because that is where Midnight Company has a couple of shows going on right now. And speaking of Midnight Company, of course, as I said before, with me here is Joe Hanrahan,
Hello.
founder and artistic director of Midnight Company, and Janelle Gilreath Owens, who is doing the Judy Garland show that's coming up shortly. But let's first talk about, Joe, I know the show that's coming up most immediately is The Years.
Yes.
So give us a quick précis of that.
Yes. The Years is written by Cindy Lou Johnson, and it's 20 some odd years old play, but it still plays like it's right now, and that's the key to the show. It's what I think people are calling a slow burn when they talk about some streaming TV series. It starts kind of letting you in piece by piece into this family made up of four cousins, and then the show takes you through the years. Takes you through 15 years of their lives as they and people inevitably do. Run into love and marriage and divorce and death, and it comes together in some unusual ways that I think make it more than just the average family drama. It's got a great cast. I want to mention them: Summer Bear, Ashley Bauman, Joey File, Joseph Garner, Allison Moser, and Michael Pierce. And we open next Thursday, which is the 13th at the Chapel, and we're running for 3 weeks. And we hope folks take a look at this show, because I think it's a pretty special one.
Yeah, I should mention that we're recording this on July 7th, so when you're seeing this, it may or may not still be running. But the thing I want to kind of hit about The Years is that this is unusual for a midnight show, because normally Midnight Theater Company does what specializes in one-man shows, really. Most of which have been you, Joe.
Or one-woman shows now.
Or one-woman shows. So it's kind of unusual for Midnight to be doing an actual script by someone else and with an actual cast. I mean,
yeah, Midnight's been around 25 years. We've done a lot of scripts by other people. Yeah. We've done a lot of shows with casts that are somewhat more than 1, 2, or 3. But it's an interesting point you make, because this show literally came back from a friend of yours, Judy Newmark, who last year I directed in the summer a play called Rodney's Wife. It was a script by somebody else, had a cast of 6, and I directed it. And maybe what you're thinking, but I think otherwise. Judy came up to me at intermission and said, "Joe, this isn't your type of play." And it made me think about The Years, which is something I directed this show many years ago, and people kind of told me the same thing about that show then. Maybe they're similar in some ways, but I looked back at The Years and I thought, man, this is a good show, and I'd like to expose it to people again.
Well, I think Midnight has expanded its focus substantially over the decades, as you point out.
Sure.
But yeah, it started out as a one-man operation, and now, you do a lot more.
Our early years, our first 7 or 8 years, were really a 2-man operation with Dave Wasilak, who co-founded the company. So most shows involved the two of us, sometimes only the two of us, but even those shows expanded occasionally. But yeah, I have done far too many one-man shows.
Yes. Time to get out of the spotlight for a while.
I'm hoping. I'm trying.
Speaking of which, that brings us to the Blue Strawberry and You Made Me Love You, the Judy Garland show, which stars Janelle. So let's talk about that one, because I would like to get clear, for one thing, what kind of show it is, where it falls on the continuum between the the tribute cabaret on one hand and the fully scripted show where someone is actually playing the role of Judy Garland. And I think, Joe, you described this as cabaret theater, so it's like somewhere in
Yeah,
between.
I'll address that generally a little bit and then turn it over to Janelle to get into the
Yeah,
heart of the show. But
very good.
starting with the Linda Ronstadt show, the only reason we did that, just one look, that show that's still running now, and it's was we wanted to tell a story. So we told Linda Ronstadt's story through a device of someone else on stage interviewing her. And the same way when Janelle and I start thinking about this, we wanted to tell a story, not just sing, impersonate her or sing, or Janelle just singing her songs. We wanted to tell a real story, and the same thing with some things coming up. We hope to continue this. We find it a really interesting way to present a story and present some songs. So that was kind of the origin of the whole shebang. Yeah.
I'm going to turn it over to Janelle because she's doing all the singing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us
and all the
about
talking too. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Joe set up basically, the basis of what this show is going to be, because when I first approached the idea of wanting to do this Judy show, I knew I wanted to do a tribute show essentially to her. And I was thinking in very basic terms of a cabaret. And then Joe came along and said, what if we took that a step further? And I never sought out to say, I want to play Judy. I want to impersonate her. I wanted to talk about her life, and I wanted to talk about her accomplishments and her ups and downs. And Joe has created this beautiful script where I am telling her life story and her about her career and her personal struggles, while incorporating my own life tale as an actor, as a performer, and hitting, being very vulnerable at times, talking about a lot of my own personal issues throughout my life and how they relate to Judy. And we kind of tie it all together with songs that are fitting at that point in her life and story as they are in mine.
Yeah. Okay. And to me, this is kind of the essence of a good cabaret show. I've said before that I am a cabaret performer myself, and I think a well-assembled cabaret show actually is more like a one-act play. I know Tim Schall, who is very prominent locally, has said that also. So it really needs to be scripted to some extent. Yeah. So I think this is exactly what makes a good show. So I'm glad to hear that. You said that there were areas of Judy's life that you feel kind of intersected with yours. Do you want to talk about any of those? That's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, without giving too much away, because I want people to come see it. Basically, as far as her personal life is concerned, the relationship she had with her parents. I touch base on that in my own life. Her romantic relationships, that's a big chunk also that I speak of in my life, and the songs that go hand in hand with that. A big highlight that I love talking about is her life during World War II and her involvement with that, and my own involvement with World War II history, as I am a World War II reenactor. And I'm not giving anything away by saying this, but I got my start in World War II reenacting and living history by answering an ad to portray Judy Garland in a USO show 12 years ago. So I just find myself having connections to her throughout my life. I also portrayed Esther Smith in Meet Me in St. Louis 6 years ago. And it seems as, not that I'm trying to get away from Judy Garland, but there's always this constant of her throughout my life. And I just feel like it's even more of a sign that I need to do a show like this.
Well, it sounds like an ideal match, really, given your resume. I also like the fact, I like the fact that you're also pulling things out of Judy Garland's history that are kind of they're universal to an extent. Things that I think all of us can relate to at one level or another.
And I hoping we can generate kind of a subtle shift on our view of Judy. We all know her story. Most of us have seen the plays, the cabarets, the movies. And inevitably, she is portrayed as a victim.
Yeah.
Even with her great work or great song, she's a victim. And we're going to try to like turn the corner on that and say she was a triumph. She was a hero. She was a survivor. She triumphed beyond that, beyond all of that, and without it, she was an icon, not a victim.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's not an either or thing either. I mean, it's too simple-minded to just put her just in this category or some other category, because as a performer, as a human being, she was far more complex than that. So
sure, yeah, it is, but it's easy to put her in that in that vein.
Yeah, it is, as we have plainly seen from all the biopics and that sort of thing. So now you have okay, so the other show you've got going, which we talked about last time we did an interview, is the Linda Ronstadt show.
Yes, yeah. That we started that in March, just like we're starting with this show with kind of three performances, kind of a mini theater run, and those sold out just boom. And we've done 10 sold out performances since. And we've added 3 more. So people, have they found a connection with her, and there's been a word of mouth that's been helped by some off campus kind of things that have just helped generate interest in Linda Ronstadt. And I think about word of mouth and the friends of the performers, including the band. And we have a good band for this show too, which I hope will help draw folks. I'm sure you know some of them. I'll let Janelle tell you about them.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, who are you musicians?
We have a band of 4. If you know John and Leah Gertis at all, they are very active in playing all over this town for all musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
I swear they're more busy than me. Every time I turn around, they seem to have booked another gig, which ain't a bad thing as a musician in this town. John has been wonderful in the approach of this show, because I sought him out and I said, this is what I'm attempting to do. And he basically put the band together, and he said, we want to be a part of this. His wife, Leah, is a huge Judy Garland fan. And she almost said, I don't care what I do, I just want to be involved. And they've been wonderful. And Joe, you're going to have to help me on other names.
Clarence Newell on drums.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
And Paul on piano.
Yes.
Paul Seragino. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Who is also a fine actor as well.
Yes. Yeah. He's accompanied, I know, some great cabaret theater type shows that that we've seen in the past.
Well, yeah, Paul appeared in oh God, now my brain's gone soft. The biography of Florence Foster Jenkins.
Oh yeah, sure,
yeah.
Right.
And which is an important role, because that's an actor and a pianist. So
yeah.
That sounds like a great assortment of musicians. So congratulations.
It is. Thank you. And we also have, in addition to the band, because Judy did duets throughout her life, and I don't just want it to be me solo. So it was important to me to incorporate a couple of those. So we have some special guests as well that will be singing alongside of me in the evening.
Okay. So there you have it. You Made Me Love You at the Blue Strawberry, also at the Blue Strawberry through at least the end of August, and maybe longer. We don't know. The Linda Ronstadt show, the title of which escapes me right now.
Just One Look.
Just One Look, that's it. And The Years, which is at the Chapel. So to find out about any of these, just go to the Midnight Company's website. Just go down here, look at the video description field, and you can see their website and find out everything that's going on, because by the time you see this, the dates we're talking about may or may not have passed, but they may still be doing it, because I know that Just One Look has been adding performances for months now, so you never know.
Thanks for having us, Chuck.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Janelle, and look forward to seeing you guys on the stage. Meanwhile, the rest of you out there, let your friends know about Chuck's Culture Channel, your source for long-form interviews here about the performing arts on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.